Alright guys, so little video on an oil leak I had on my little D3, 12 scale D3 from Toucan Hobbies. Uh, as you can see there's just showing off the sizes of the old fittings versus the new fittings I'm putting on. I guess in this case they're already on there. Um, so I had the original fit, or the original hoses were leaking, or I had one spring a leak on the lift cylinder. So I figured while I'm replacing that hose, I don't think I had enough hose to replace the small one. So figured I would put bigger hose on there, would allow the blade to lift a little bit quicker when the oil is still cold. Um, Ended up having to make my own little sleeves that hold the hose onto the fittings. Here I'm just talking about the track pin that kept coming loose, and I ended up actually welding that because from the factory the pins are welded into the tracks, and I guess either some of them weren't welded or they just came loose, so ended up TIG welding that back in. There's the little sleeves I made. Um, those slide over top of the hoses to clamp onto the fittings right there. Um, Here I think there I got everything back together, just checking the rotation of the tracks, make sure I plugged them in correctly. Getting everything put back together, putting the screws back in for that hold the whole hydraulic system into the chassis. Pretty straightforward, just 4 little screws on the bottom. Then I do go through and tighten up a bunch of extra screws because it seems like either they weren't tight or just loosened up from getting used, or the paint is wearing off as it's getting used. So I went through and did that. Right here I'm just showing you the pin that I ended up not using actually, because I ended up just welding it. I'm going to put the track together here, just inspecting all the pins and then explaining how they're welded. Here you'll see me struggle with putting the track on and it doesn't work. So I ended up taking the screwed together link pin out and struggling with that a little bit, but it ended up going together okay after I just unscrewed it and then put it on and screwed it back together. You'll see me looking for the little, what is it, the 0.5 um, little Allen key. Um, Here I'm looking for that. As you can see, it comes with a spare trackpad, a few little things. Yeah, right there, I'm taking it apart. A little screw. Put it together, put the pin through, and then I'll put the screw in from the bottom once I turn it up. Here I'm just putting the hood and everything back together. I designed up some fake GPS bits for on the front of the blade. They look really good on there. I just took some spare wiring that I had and twisted that around a screwdriver bit and, and glued it into the GPS bits and then just tied a knot in it behind the grill after I fed it through the grill. Um, Adds a bit of realism. I did 3D print a driver that I found on Maker World, an old bearded feller. Um, yeah, and this is about it. Right after this, it'll be a bit of a running video, just making sure it's working. Right there, just making sure one last time there's no leaks. Putting the screws that hold the pins in. Should have done that before I put the tracks on. Would have made it a lot easier, but hope you guys enjoy this video. Check out the bit of running footage at the end here. Um, thanks for watching, guys.